Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be entertained, enlightened, and educated about men's secrets, and dating advices decoded as we dive into another episode of Men's Secrets Exposed podcast and show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new show, new episode, Men's Secrets Exposed. I am your host, comedy magician Dewayne Hill. We are getting deep into the conversations and discussions about dating and advice, dating simplified, and men are decoded, getting a peek behind the curtain, ladies, at how men think, how we operate, how we do what we do. And we have our lovely female co-host, Elle, from Pinellas County, Florida. Welcome back, Miss Elle.
Hello. Thank you, guys.
All right. Elle, do you have anything you want to update the audience on? Anything new going on with you?
Not a whole lot going on here. Still, navigating the dating scene in the greater Tampa Bay area, which, as you all know, is extraordinarily fun. So this has been pretty awesome to be a part of this and get different insights and hear the questions that are out there being asked.
Gotcha. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right into it. Actually, we're going to start out with a man question coming from a male listener. He wants to know, what is it about females' obsession with shoes?
Oh, well, that's asking why we're obsessed with chocolate, or
okay.
fluffy baby animals. We just are. It's just a thing. It's just something you're just gonna have to get used to.
This is the person that this is coming from the person that has you talked about you having, what was it? Was it a background, or you study biology or something like that?
Yep. My background's in biology.
And your scientific answer is
just cause.
It just is.
So
it just is.
I think we like to change it up. We like to be different. There's an aspect of putting on your best face, I guess, every day, and keeping things different. They say variety is the spice of life. So then I want you to just imagine for a minute if you had to eat the same food every day. Let's say you had oatmeal 3 meals a day, every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You couldn't do anything else with it. That's kind of for us what wearing the same shoes would be like all the time. You gotta mix it up a little bit.
So I hear that. So then how is that not true for women's sexual appetite?
I guess that's a good question. That's a fair question, rather, not a.
I mean, because a man that has this, men have this fear, particularly if they're really into somebody. We hear you say that women loving this spice for variety, but why is it that they question why is it hard for men to stay monogamous?
Well, I think there's a biological aspect to that answer too that not everybody likes to hear. Is that men are genetically capable of producing more offspring than women are. So, when we're talking about why men can't stay faithful, or whatever, there is a genetic drive there to propagate the species with as many viable options as possible. Not that women don't want the same thing, but from a biological standpoint, women are looking for more security. That's why they, the bigger, faster, stronger, smarter. That's kind of what women were going for back in the days, where we had to have protection, or security in that regard to take care of us and our offspring. As we all know, babies are pretty helpless. So there's that aspect of it from a biological standpoint. But I think from, if you're thinking about it logically, shoes and sex really just aren't the same thing. Shoes are a lot more fun. Not that sex is not fun, but shoes are a lot more disposable, I guess. If you're like, oh, well, I can just get rid of this pair of shoes pretty easy, or I can take it back to the store. Sex is a bit more of a commitment.
Now, I could tell you right now, listening to what you said, and I intellectually understand, okay? Intellectually hear what you're saying, but in the primitive, basic, simple male brain, we would put those in the same boat.
Okay.
Those would be in the same, and that's a disconnect, because we would hear you or ladies talk about this need for variety and spicing things up and not having the same thing every day. And then the logical question that men have is, well, then how are you cool with
having me every day?
Yeah, exactly. Does that make sense?
It does, but that's why we buy lingerie and, cook different food and stuff like that.
So in other words, women try to spice things.
We do it for you.
Yeah, right. Come on. Give me a break. So in other words, you're saying women try to spice things up within the same
relationship or commitment, yeah.
To make the relationship itself different.
Right. Exactly.
Even though the main part of the relationship stays constant.
Exactly. Like you're still having a meal every day, right? But what you have is going to be, we're going to just do something a little different with it every day.
Really? Okay. All right. So here's a question coming from Clearwater. Lady says that this has happened to me 3 different occasions recently. I have been out and I have been starting to talk to a particular guy. We hit it off. We were having good conversation. After a couple weeks of seeing them, they invited me to go on a vacation or long weekend. What exactly does that mean? And does that mean that these men are looking at me for a long-term relationship?
Oh, that's a tough
What's your take on that?
Oh, I don't really know. I guess it could kind of go either way. Maybe he just wants a travel companion and he thinks you'd be a lot of fun. Maybe it is a test to see, if there's relationship potential there. Maybe it's a genuine feeling of something. I don't know. This one's a little hard for me to navigate because it's just, that is something big to ask of somebody you've not known very long. Do you want to just go away with me? I mean, that's how people get murdered. Right?
Oh, now, goodness gracious. Come on. Did it go to that you're going to end up in a duffel bag?
Hey, you could, or pushed off a cliff. You never know. People are crazy out here these days.
Yeah, and that's what happens, my fellow fellas, when women watch too many Lifetime movies.
That's true. That's true. Lifetime has made us all scared.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so this is actually, believe it or not, from a male point of view, this is a very simple answer.
Okay, I'm excited to hear this.
This is a very simple answer, all right? And I'm really, really exposing something, and I'm sure if a woman hearing this and she confronts her boyfriend or her husband about this particular answer, he will squirm. He will look at her with confusion as to where she got the information.
Uh-oh.
And if the men come back and listen to the podcast, they're going to write me emails saying, dude, what the hell?
You've given away all the secrets.
Yeah, because I really am about to really, really expose something here. Pretty serious. If a man is inviting a woman to go on a trip or overnight or long weekend or vacation, okay? He is doing that with one purpose in mind. Hey guys, thanks again. This is a quick little mention, little plug. If you are enjoying this, and I hope that you are, number one, a new book of mine is coming out in 2019, Handful of Queens, coming out in 2019. You'll be able to check that out. It's a kind of a action, suspense, romance. Hope you all enjoy it. But more importantly, if you're enjoying the podcast and the other things we have going on Magic DTV, please write to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or Apple and let them know that you are enjoying the content and the shows that we are creating and short films we're putting out. That's Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or Apple. Any one of those 4. Let them know that you're really digging what we have and that you'd like to see what we're doing on one of their platforms. Please put that out to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or Apple. Thank y'all very much. Bye.
I'm going to say sex.
That's it.
I knew it.
That's it. So, and this is to be a good conversation. This is going to probably finish out, by the time we talk about this, it's going to probably finish out the episode by itself. Number one, a man's not going to invite a woman to go on an overnight trip with him if he's not attracted to her. Okay? Mm-hmm. So he's not going to do that. is it possible for men to invite a woman to go on an overnight trip, and after the trip, there's really nothing more they're looking for? 100%. So I know that might be to a woman, it might be a little confusing. Like, wow, he would go through the extent of inviting me to go on a trip. We take these pictures, we build these memories, and after the sex, after the trip, he may not want anything else.
But what if you've already had sex prior? I can understand this if you haven't had sex prior to going on a trip, but what if you have?
Okay. What's the question?
So, then why is it still about sex? You're already having sex. You don't now have to go away together.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Is there a difference between when you have sex when you're at the house and when you have vacation sex?
Okay, yeah, I guess that's a good point. We all can get a little more wild in a hotel room. That's a good point.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And the thing is, looking at the structure of this question, if he's asking, this early on for that, then it's like maybe this is his opportunity to kick it up a notch, maybe do something that he wouldn't normally do, or maybe ask you something he wouldn't normally ask.
Okay.
Under the umbrella of we're on vacation, we're just hanging loose and having a good time. Okay. And he's really trying to push the boundaries to see how wild she'll go.
Huh.
And that's it. But the invitation, I hate to say this, ladies, to listening, that the invitation to come out on an overnight trip doesn't necessarily mean he's looking at this as a long-term thing.
Right.
He's looking at it as he wants to take a trip, he wants to have a good time, and he wants to, have a good time. And this is where I'm going to really heavily violate bro code.
Uh-oh.
If a man, if men could do it and we could do it with no real backlash, okay? A lot of cases, most cases, it would probably be best for both species that your vacations are separate. Okay. Women do a woman vacation, men do a man vacation, okay? Most men, unless you're in one of those situations where you are you have a super weird kind of common interest, say both of you are extreme, Star Wars fans, or extreme, Trekkies, okay? Or, you both like mountain climbing, or you both like surfing, or you both like to play golf, okay? A lot of men go on vacation because they have to.
Oh.
Okay, they're going on vacation because they think, okay, she wants to get away, she wants to relax, we can get away. Again, this falls in the category of this makes her happy. And hopefully if she's happy, she's not complaining, and then everybody will be good. And the only reason why the men are really excited about the trip is for the vacation sex. Okay? Otherwise, a lot of men are very aggravated on vacation because most of the time they're doing something they don't want to do. They're seeing something they don't want to see. They're taking a tour they don't want to take. They're going to a museum they don't really care about. They don't want to go to an outlet mall. And they really don't want to go spend $100 on that dinner, okay? Right. But they're doing all that in hopes that she will be cool, she will enjoy herself, she will be able to relax. But I could tell you firsthand, ladies, most men don't want to do that.
Okay,
interesting. They don't. They really don't. If it was really a guy trip, you really don't want to know what a guy would do. A guy would go somewhere, he would sit in a chair, he wouldn't talk, he wouldn't conversate, he would probably order a pizza, and he would just stare. And let
veg out for a while.
Yeah, and just let his brain completely turn off. Now, like I said, if you're one of those couples where y'all have like a common interest, and I hate to use the word weird, but that way you all are really both excited. Yeah, that's a much better word. You are really super geared up to, we're going to a Star Trek convention. Okay, cool. Or there's this, this rock is rated whatever, and it's extremely hard to climb. Well, we're going to go at it, and both of you do that. Cool. Or, hey, there's this golf course we wanted to play, and it's rated in Golf Digest, blah, blah, blah. Let's go play it. Okay, cool. But for the man just to go, he's not, as honest as I could be, he's only going just to appease the woman.
Okay.
I mean, he really, I mean, I didn't say he don't want to go, but
he probably
just
doesn't want to go.
not really. Not really. No, I mean, and I'm sure some women are going to hear that and say, that's not true. Well, I tell you what, if it's not true, go ask the guy you're with.
Prove us wrong.
And go ask him, and he's going to look at you confused because it's going to be one of those questions that he feels like doesn't have a right answer.
Oh, I see.
And he's going to be like, where's this question coming from?
And damn it.
Yeah. And if he goes back and he listens to this here, and you're like, well, I heard this podcast, and he said that main reason why men really go on vacation is for vacation sex. And then I'm going to get an email say, dude, what are you doing? And
sabotaging my life over here.
I mean, that's just it, And now this is the big question that I really want an answer to. And I know you're going to try to tiptoe in this gray area, but I'm going to ask you anyway, right?
Okay.
If a man invites a woman on vacation, right?
Okay.
Is she subtly consenting to sex?
Oh yeah, in my perspective. Because I mean, we're adults. We know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Or it's going to be offered.
Right. It's an option that's on the table.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty much.
That's my take on it.
If she agrees. Okay. So she agrees to go.
Yeah, there's got to be a mutual level of attraction there, I would think. You don't just run off with somebody you're like, oh, get away from me.
I've heard stories.
Really?
I've heard stories like, half into the trip that, there's this random argument that happens and it's just like, they're kind of stuck.
Well, I have, that is a fear. I guess I could see that happening, but off the cuff, I wouldn't, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't agree to go on vacation with somebody I wasn't attracted to or interested in that capacity.
Yeah. Okay. So you wouldn't do that. So it's pretty much. Yeah,
it's going to be on the table. You know what's coming.
Okay, it's on the table. So if she agrees, then she's pretty much agreeing to. She's cool with it happening.
Right.
Okay, which goes back to why guys are asking in the first place.
I'm testing the waters.
Hang on. Yes, absolutely. So. Okay. All right. Very cool. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this for this particular episode. Guys that are listening, I hope y'all got some information out of that with this whole vacation thing. Ladies, I hope y'all got some information. I mean, in a nutshell, for guys asking you, I don't want to use I hate this is a harsh word to say he's expecting, but, well, I guess I should say he's wanting. And by you coming on the trip, in his opinion, he feels like it's kind of sealing the deal. And maybe he's hoping to introduce something or position something or whatever the case is. We're going to wrap this episode. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to wrap this up, ladies. Gentlemen, if you have a question, text it in 813-534-0169, 813-534-0169. Call in your question, leave a voicemail. We will play them on future shows. And we are going to wrap up. Oh, yeah, be sure to check out our social media. We're creating a YouTube channel, Magic DTV. We're going to have all the episodes here and some other things that I have on my production company coming out of the pike. We're going to be putting on that channel also. It's Magic DTV on YouTube, Magic DTV on Facebook. If you go to Instagram, type in Men's Secrets Podcast, you can follow us. We're going to be posting general questions and discussions. Feel free to comment, ask your question, send us a message, whatever the case is. As long as you want your information, we will try to get as much information answered to you as possible. We're going to sign off for right now. Elle, do you have anything else to add? All right, we're going to sign off. Thank all of y'all for listening in. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your week and goodbye.